Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. What's up? What's popping? Dumalang so this is gonna be another Generations the Legacy review of Friday's episode. So a lot of things happened, but I'm going to be highlighting some few storylines and characters that I saw on Friday's episode. I'm going to be starting with Lucy. I have some notes with me, so I'll be just looking down if you're wondering. So Lucy is serious about the detox, but Morexa is not taking it well. So on Friday's episode, Lucy decided to start the detoxing diet early in the morning for breakfast. They made some eggs, veggies, smoothies, but Marissa was not up for it. He was not actually prepared to do it, and he was a bit surprised when he saw Lucy actually doing it. And then he went to the table and he thought there was like some delicious lunch on the table, but it was actually veggies with broccoli and everything. My God was so disappointed. Like, he was literally disappointed. He did not expect it. But Lucy's like, we're going to start doing it today because he said he wanted to lose 10 kgs before this wedding, which is on Wednesday, okay? And Lucy is taking it seriously, but Morexa is not having it right now. Anyway, moving from Lucy and Morexa, we're going to focus on Tamron. So on Friday's episode, Tamron was starting to show some symptoms of some weird illness that she didn't actually know what it was. And the housemates were a bit worried. So Tamron is sick, and the housemates, the rest of the housemates are worried about it, and they took her to the public hospital. Well, at least they did anyway, and they found out that she had something called cellulitis. It's like a bacterial infection in the eye or something, and it's pretty bad. Her eye is inflamed and she's sick. So she's now admitted to the hospital, obviously, and they found a bed for her. Thank God they said they took her to the hospital. Maybe it couldn't have been worse. I don't know. Anyway, let's go to Morexa. So we get to see the backstory to the reason why Morexa wants to impress his friend. So Morexa and his friend actually were fighting over a girl, and this girl was interested in Morexa, but she lost interest once Lefty did the moonwalk, and that's when everything went downhill. So now he's trying to learn to do the moonwalk and impress people at his wedding as a revenge. I mean, that's like childhood memories. You need to get over that, Rex. I know it's gonna end horribly, to be honest. I'm not gonna be surprised if Rex doesn't get the steps to the moonwalk. I mean, it's a hard dance to do. You need like time and years to perfect the moonwalk. Anyway, let's move on to Spare. So Spare tried to talk to the minister about meeting Palace's demands halfway, but he wants nothing to do with Palisa. He does not want to have any association with the prisoners and the problems that they're having. Like, why do you have this job if you're not going to do it? That's my question. If you're going to be the Minister of Correctional Services, you meant to do something about it. So if you say you don't care, you don't want to be part of it, then why you in that position? Why are you actually in that seat if you're not going to do anything about it? I'm really not about that. Anyway, let's talk about Jerah and Mpho. So Jerah obviously stole the drawing that belonged to Solomon and Romo, and he offered to buy the painting, but Mpho has no idea how much it is worth. I mean, like, it's so expensive, and for Jared to buy it from Mpho for 5,000 rand, knowing how much it's worth, that is ridiculous. That's just robbing people. Like, in day, bro, like why would you do that? 2.4 million is so much money that Cosmo can use to go back to the private hospital. But Jerah doesn't care about that, does he? He just thinks about himself. Like I said in my previous video, this guy is selfish. He does not think about anyone but himself, and it's gonna bite me in the ass at some point. Going back to Lucy, I wanted to talk about Lucy and Jerah. So Lucy swallowed her pride and went to Jerah for the African bear, right? And when she got there, Jerah gave Lucy the attitude that he should not have. I feel like he thinks he's up there, and he sees other people as some little insects down on the ground. Like, who is he? Just because he has a Moroccan surname doesn't mean he's better than anyone in that place. Like, Lucy actually came to ask to sell the African bear, and you have the audacity to go like, oh, I'll call you when we have it. Why the attitude? I don't get it. Let's go back to Jerah, but this time with Mpho. So Lucy tried to steal the African bear after Jerah refused to sell it to her. So when she got there, Mpho walked in and Fiklo was obviously there, but she ended up not stealing it. But she did tell Mpho that his friend Jerah is so uptight. He thinks that just because he has a Moroccan name, he cannot sell it, the African beer, to Lucy. And Mpho was disappointed to hear that. I mean, they are meant to be in this together, and I feel like Mpho is doing most of the work, and that's not fair. Like Jerah and Mpho, there's a lot of tension between these two characters already. I mean, they're in business together, but there's so much tension because one person is doing 80% of the job while the other one is just there doing his own thing. He even pointed out, he's like, I'm doing my job plus having a 9-to-5 job. There's so much I'm doing. Excuse you, who are you? Mpho is doing most of the work. He's doing the, advertising. He's actually out there doing something about this business, and you have the right to say he's not doing anything just because you have a job. Like, who are you? I don't get it. I just don't get his demeanor. Like, his attitude, his energy is just off. Jerah is a spoiled brat. That's what I get from him. Anyway, that's it for today. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share if you want. Peace. I'm out.